How's it going, fam? It's Shamila Anahana from the SoulfulVeganista.com, and today I'm going to do a Pisces full moon reading. So as you know, it's going to be a full moon on the 14th. So not only is Friday the 13th badass, and there's going to be a full moon, but it's going to be in Pisces. And if you don't know already, I am a Pisces sun and moon, and very much so at that. So I'm very, very excited for this, and I know that it's going to affect me more than most people. So let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Let's get into the reading. All right, so let's see what my guides, ancestors, and angels have to say about this Pisces full moon. So I want to know, how is this going to affect not only water signs, but people in general? Because Pisces is all about intuition, it's all about insights, it's all about feeling your emotions, psychic energy, and not only just because of the Friday the 13th energy that we're talking about, but I want to know, like, honestly, how spooky is it going to be? We're already in September, and September is basically October, and October is basically the month of Halloween. So let's see what all that has to mean for not only me as a Pisces, but for the general public. Okay, so I'm asking my deck, what should we know? What should we do? And how should we guard our emotions for this Pisces full moon? Okay, almost ready. I can feel an answer coming up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. And I'm going to do a 6-card reading on my shadow work deck. This is what I use for clients who want to get shadow work done. It's called the Night Sun Tarot by Fabio Listrani, and it's super dark, super twisted, and it's so beautiful. I love the colors. So let me just flip these around, analyze this really quick, and get right back to y'all. Okay, everything looks good, everything looks beautiful. All right, so let's see, and I always like to use my Labradorite to help me with insight. Okay, y'all, this is wild right here. So once again, Pisces full moon, that has a lot to do with water. So look at this card right here. This is actually a Scorpio card. A lot of these cards have the elements of it, you know, earth, air, water, fire, but it also has these zodiac symbols in it. So this one has everything to do with not only insight, but I really get here emotional maturity. This is a time for us to dig deep and understand why we hold on to things so dearly. And that doesn't necessarily just mean our past. This just means the things about ourselves that we refuse to let go. So what I get here is our insecurities, the things that society has projected onto us. And since we're talking about Scorpio here, I see here, because Scorpio has a lot to do with the sacral chakra, and that has to do with your emotions, your joy, and your artistic side. So I definitely get here that we should be delving more into our artistic side and figure out why we're not creating. Why are we not doing our art? Why are we not participating in things that we enjoy? Why are we not, I don't want to say childlike in a way that being childish is the best thing, but if you think about it, children are so free, they're so lovely, they like to explore, and they don't let things hold them back from doing what they feel. So I feel like this is a really good time for us to acknowledge how we feel. Not only that, but acknowledge what's holding us back from doing our life's work or fulfilling our purpose in the present moment. Okay, so this one, interesting. So this is actually the Virgo card, and you know Virgo has a lot to do with Earth. So I'm getting here, this might be what in the Rider-Waite tarot, the typical tarot that a lot of readers use, this would be like the Pentacles, so 8 of Pentacles. So I feel like here, you know, Pentacles has everything to do with stability, blah, 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 financial things. But I get here that a lot of us feel held back by money. I'm not too sure. Whoever this resonates with, please let me know, because I do get the feeling that a lot of us feel like we're not creating because we feel limited. And that's not necessarily good, because that's the type of poverty consciousness that we're trying to get out of, especially the insecurities that we've been feeling. We don't have time to focus on our limitations and focus on our lack of resources or our lack of anything. This is not the time to focus on lack. This is the time to focus on what you do have and doing the best what you can do with what you have. So do what you can with what you have, is what I'm saying. And don't let other people make you feel weird or wild or anything like that for wanting to live unconventionally or doing your life's work, because there's nothing weird about that, even if it is a weird or unconventional type field. If you want to do bondage, do bondage. You know what I mean? If you want to train to be in the circus, be in the circus. You know, no one can make you feel bad about it but you. And you are allowing people's judgments. You're allowing your own personal limitations. You're allowing your perspective to hold you back from doing what you feel. So yes, definitely analyze what's really holding you back. Because it's most likely mental, y'all. It's all mental, and it seems like it's physical, but not necessarily. Okay, interesting. So this looks like an Aquarius card. Oh my God, what did I just say, y'all? Mental. It is all mental. We are so creative. We are so eccentric. We are so trying to invoke that Aquarius energy that we have from the last full moon. Last month was my Aquarius reading in the full moon. Definitely check that out to get more insight on that. But to me, Aquarius is like the Pisces of the air element, if that makes sense. And the fact that it is creative, it is eccentric, it's individualistic, it has everything that Pisces really embodies naturally. But I get here, since it's the air element, that we allow our mentalities to hold us back. What truly holds us back is not necessarily what people think. It's how we feel about ourselves and our own self-image. So we really have to dig deep. And once again, just reminding y'all that this is my shadow work deck. So this is basically trying to get to the root of our problems and the root cause of why we are not doing what we're supposed to be doing. So what I'm getting here is that we need to change our perspective. It is all about mindset when it comes to this. If you have the mindset of lack, if you have the mindset of not wanting to do things because of other people, or not wanting to do things because you have poor self-image, then you are always going to be held back, and there's nothing that can help you. So analyze your mentality, shine a light on your thoughts, be mindful of how you're thinking, be mindful of how other people make you feel, and then you're most likely going to realize that, wow, this is my perspective and nobody else's. I'm internalizing all these messages, and I'm allowing it to stunt my growth in a way. Okay, moving on to the next card. All right, so it's hard to say what element this is, but it's the Tower card. And I get here, oh man, I love this artwork. But I really do get here that we're keeping ourselves in a dark place willingly. Like, a lot of us are so willing to just stay in the deep darkness of our souls, and that's not a bad thing. We have to feel our feelings before we move on, before we make progress, before we can release all of the triggers that have held us back for so long, that's held us hostage our whole lives. But I'm really getting here that we hold some things a little bit too much on a pedestal. Like, it's almost as if we're comparing ourselves to others, or we are allowing celebrities or people who seem better than us, which is, no one's necessarily better than you. You know, just because someone has a bigger following and more content and quality content doesn't mean they're better than you. These people have just probably worked longer than you. They probably just have worked harder than you, and that is something that you can change. So once again, don't get too down in the dumps about what you can't do. Focus on what you can do. And if you're in a dark place right now, completely feel your feelings. That's what this Pisces full moon is all about. Feel your feelings. Don't run away from them. Face them head on. And this Saturday, if you are feeling some type of way, allow yourself to do that. Do not resist. So what I definitely get here is to look past people who seem like they're doing better than you, to look past the negative self-image that you have, and to allow yourself to feel dark for a minute, but you're gonna have to eventually pick yourself up and move on. And not necessarily saying to put yourself on that pedestal, but lift yourself up a little bit more, you know? I don't want to also necessarily say that you want to just try to get yourself out of a bad mood, because affirmations and, visualization and meditation and all those things definitely do work. But you don't want to just be like, okay, well, I'm fine, and just go about your day. No. Definitely be in your room with the lights off if you have to. You know what I mean? But just know that the next day you're most likely going to feel better, and ride that wave. Don't resist it. Okay. So I believe this is Capricorn energy, and this is also the devil. Oh, isn't this card amazing, y'all? So beautiful. But I get here that we are our own worst enemies. We are lying to ourselves. We keep trying to talk ourselves out of doing our life's work. We keep talking ourselves out of taking on certain opportunities that have been presented to us. And it's almost as if we're talking ourselves out of feeling good about ourselves. What's wrong with that? Analyze that. Why don't you want to uplift yourself? Why don't you feel good about who you are? Why do you allow yourself over and over again to hold on to this negative self-image, knowing that it's not helping you grow, feel better, or make yourself more, not necessarily attracting better people? Because I don't like telling people, yeah, you know, who you are is what you attract. That might be true energetically, but we don't deserve abusive or toxic people in our lives, and I never want to say that people are attracting that willingly. But most of the time, we set out for people who are on our wavelength, and some of those times those people are toxic. So you don't want to become that type of target, and you don't want to make yourself out to be the demon that you think. So you are deserving of great things. You are deserving of happiness and joy and bliss and ecstasy. All those things are already here for you. You just have to align with them. They are already at your doorstep. You just have to become the person that you want to be, because there's no pill. There's nothing you can buy to be the person you want to be. It's all in your mental. It's all in your mental. So keep reminding yourself that you are not a monster. Your past does not define you. Your actions in the past do not define you. You can change. Everyone can change. And you need to remind yourself of this every day. Every moment is a changing moment. Be intentional with moving into every hour, or taking a shower, or drinking water. Let that water cleanse you of those toxicities or anything that you felt like you've held on to in the past, so that you can eliminate it later and it'll just completely leave your body. And although that might seem ridiculous, not really. We can trick our minds to believing anything. So why not believe that everything can cleanse you? I mean, it can work. You never know. Worth a shot. It's better than feeling like shit, right? Okay, moving on to the last and final card, which is just as gorgeous as the last one. And y'all, this is wild. This is actually the Pisces card from what I'm seeing here. So yes, it has the Pisces symbol. It is 8 of Cups. And when I think of 8, I think of social, I think of wealth, abundance, that type of jazz. And I get here that, wow, once we move into a state of alignment, meaning not even just like, oh, I'm meditating on a mountain. No, that necessarily means once I realize my worth, once I realize that things will work out for me with my belief, with my hard work, and with my belief and mindset definitely does go hand in hand, but it's still different. My mindset, knowing that I am able, knowing that I am the shit, really. So I feel like once we become more emotionally mature and emotionally stable, I don't want to speak for neurodivergent folk because not everyone can help that. But at the same time, though, if we check our emotions, if we shine a light on our emotions, being mindful of that, being mindful of how we feel, scanning our body for any resistance in our energy centers, our chakras, then we can move out of that place, move out of that dark place of lack, of demonizing ourselves, of letting our past come back to haunt us when it is just an avenue for growth, and everything is an opportunity for growth. It's hard to see that when things are happening, but at the same time, though, we have to remember that not everything is permanent. Everything is temporary. How you're feeling is temporary. This situation you're going through is temporary. Even your mindset is temporary. So once you go into a state of alignment by aligning with your purpose and making sure that you're doing the work, that you're, believing in yourself, that you're changing your mindset and not allowing your past to haunt you, then you will be emotionally mature enough to actually go for it. And go for it can mean different things. I'm definitely getting back to the first card in Scorpio, where It talks about art and our passions and things like that. But I really do feel here that we are, a lot of us are very emotionally immature, and we refuse to realize it. And all this has to do with why we are emotionally mature. And once we get into that place, we can find emotional maturity where we're not scared to cry, where we're not scared to be vulnerable, where we're not scared to practice our art or practice our psychic abilities, because we all have them, and we'll just be happy. Just like what the 8 says, we'll live a life of abundance rather than living a life of shame or guilt or anger. And I just really feel here that we're going to move into a place of not being scared of our emotions, because society shames us for feeling that way, and it's not cool. But yes, I'm really excited about this reading, and I think that it's going to benefit us all, especially with the last card being in Pisces. How weird is that? So I'm really excited for this full moon on the 14th. We're going to be cleansed. We're going to be practicing our art. We're not going to be scared of our emotions or our psychic abilities, and we're going to always use everything for an opportunity for growth. But yes, y'all, check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, OnlyFans, Patreon. I'm on all social media outlets. Oh, also on TikTok. And also check me out on thesoulfulveganista.com for my holistic lifestyle coaching services. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.